Yes, some couples wouldn't mind a sexless marriage actually, but that is if they both agree. Yeah, because it is common worldwide and it's very, very well known that as the relationship goes on, or as the marriage goes on as it grows older, if you've stayed together for some time, like many years, like 5 or blah blah, yes, most couples tend to lose interest in each other or in sex actually, or at times they just tend to just program and say we're not doing it this week or we're not doing it for a month to just refreshen up. So some people wouldn't mind, and I'm not saying a marriage without sex doesn't actually work, but that is if you both agree. And anyway, today we are going to be talking about, does a sexless marriage work, and what are the causes of a sexless marriage, and how are we going to handle? Stay tuned. Yeah, welcome back on my YouTube channel. My name is Queen Heavens, a relationship advisor, and my family, I'm very grateful to see you again. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. My purpose and my aim is to help those young girls that are about to start relationships to actually have a comfortable and successful relationship, and those that are about to get married to actually have a better and long-lasting marriage, and those that are already married and having issues in their marriages. I want to help them solve the issues in those marriages and how to make the love marriage life better, and also to increase the spark of love into these different kinds of relationships. So are you single? Are you married? Are you in a relationship? You are actually in the right place. First of all, how much sex is a couple meant to have? I would probably say maybe once a week. And of course, I'm not talking about you people who are still young, age of 20 to 30 years, who are still sexually active and strong. I'm talking about people of around the age of 50, 40, those people that are trying to grow older. How much sex should they have that is normal? I think it could probably be like one time a week. However, before I go any further, there is a question that was asked from me by one of my subscribers, saying, how do you handle sex pressure in a relationship? Because the Bible says it is a sin to have sex before marriage. I think before I go any further in this topic, that answer I would give you, my dear friend, is that if you're not married to this lady or to this guy, and you're Christian, I would basically advise you to first get married. And if you're of age and you're in the right age of marriage, it is of an advantage that you get married, because these days marriage is not something very, very tricky, most in the Christian culture. You basically need you and the partner that you want to get married to, and 2 witnesses, and go to the church and approve your relationship. You can make the party and blah blah later. So I would encourage you to just basically to avoid problems and to avoid sinning. It is of good advice for you to just go and get married. Allow me to talk about what happens if you do not have sex. Actually, it is possible that you can get so many diseases if you don't have sex, because sex is actually like an exercise of the body. It is actually making the body healthier, and it's making the blood or the blood flow in the body very active and very it flows better if you're having sex. I think that's what I can say. So it so happens that most people who do not have sex frequently or don't have sex at all are more likely to become ill or sick easily, and they're more likely to be so stressed most of the times, and they're more likely to get like heart diseases, and they're also more likely to get like prostate cancer. That's what I can say. So be careful if you're not actually interested in having sex. I think it is healthy for you to actually have sex, because it actually also leads to problems like slowness in the brain. You literally think that when you get busy with all the work and blah blah, and you're not actually getting sexually active, you think you're doing better, but actually your brain starts to slow down and you're not thinking straight anymore. One of the reasons why people are having sexless marriages is because some people are actually sick. Illnesses, different kinds of illnesses, can cause to lack of appetite and lack of interest for sex. Talk about depression. Some couples are depressed because of the different situations that are happening in life. Talk about work issues. Some people get busy with businesses and they fail to concentrate on them own selves. And of course, if your brain is overworked and overburdened with a lot of stuff, there is no way you're going to be appetized or aroused or even think about sex. Actually, you'll end up, because you're overworking your body and you are actually overthinking, having a lot of projects to run, getting worried about unfinished projects, unfinished meetings, or lack of financial breakthroughs. You end up being so stressed and depressed, and you end up getting you start feeling like you're sick, or actually the body actually starts aching, and you start feeling like you really need to rest. instead of working more on having sex. So most partners actually these days in the world of today, where everybody's looking for money, they're facing that kind of situation. Because who doesn't know that the sex comes from basically the brain and the body? You need to work. You need to use the body, and you need to use the brain and the heart. And if those are really fixed up, there is no way you're going to make this a perfect place. Either sometimes people just tend to just have sex than intimacy, and of course it doesn't bring out the real picture of what you're talking, of what you are doing. And of course your partner or the other partner will end up not getting satisfied, and the next time you ask for it, of course your partner will say no because of the way you did it, or you keep doing it in a way that you're actually literally having sex but you're not intimate. There is no romance, and there is no anything that makes this other partner of yours actually satisfied or interested in the game. And the second reason could be because of lack of communication. When there is no communication between couples, of course there is no interest, and there is no admiration, and there is no arousal for sex, basically because if you're coming back from work and you're very busy, and most couples these days, I don't know what is happening, but most couples have concentrated more on work and their children more than themselves. You realize that most couples actually come back home, and the only question a man will ask is, how are the kids, and have they eaten, have they showered, have they done this, and they forget actually to ask their women, how are you doing? And of course this has led to a roommate kind of relationship, whereby you're with a partner as a brother or a sister, or like a roommate. You understand what I'm saying? So there is no connection, there is no attachment, there is no intimacy between the two of you, and of course that causes a lot of lack of sex in marriages. Because of course if your partner actually has no, because you know sex is about connection, playing games around, joking around, because sex is not planned for. You cannot start saying we are planning and making a program of we are having sex today and tomorrow we're not having it, because it just has to happen. There is no routine for sex. And if you have a routine in your relationship or in your marriage, of course that is the reason as why everything is upside down, because now this has become like the usual, it has become like normal, and it doesn't actually bring out any new thing about it. And also if there is no communication in the marriage, of course you realize that you're not doing the perfect thing that is making this partner actually appreciate themselves. Instead they feel like they're less appreciated, and they feel like their efforts are really in vain, and they feel like you are not actually understanding them. So how do you see if you actually concentrate more on the interests of your partner? Basically there's so many things your partner could be doing and you don't actually recognize them, and of course this is going to make the relationship lack love and attraction, and of course lack of sex. Another reason why people are actually having a sexless marriages, it could be because of cheating. There is a lot of cheating going on in marriages. It so happens that most of the couples, when they get together and they start staying together for really a long time, they get fed up of each other, they loosen up and stop feeling interest in each other, and this also leads to cheating, whereby you realize that most couples actually have sex partners outside their marriages. And of course if you have a sex partner outside your marriage, how do you expect the marriage to ever have sex that is really satisfactory? Of course if you're doing it, you're just going to be doing it to just do it because you're supposed to do it, but you're not actually doing it out of love, out of intimacy, out of admiration and appreciation or respect of the feelings that you have towards your partner. However, I would like to kindly give you a few things that you can do to brighten up this sex issue and to bring it back into your marriage. And the first thing that I will talk about is for you to try to spice up the relationship or the marriage. How are you going to do this? And basically I think that you should break the routine. Let the routine stop happening, and then do this in a different way. The way you met or the way you were in a relationship, recall and remember the times when you just started the relationship. Basically, how were you doing it? So basically you can go back to that time and then start afresh. And secondly, you could also try to spice it up by maybe going to dinner with your partner, going out to a hotel, trying to go for trips, so that you stop having a sex in the same bedroom, in the same place, at the same time, in the same program, you know, because it kind of starts to get boring. And of course your partner starts looking at it like a usual thing that is happening every day. And of course what's new, so you realize that there is nothing that is changing. So I would also advise you to at least change on the style of how you do it. And another thing that I will talk about is for you to try and concentrate and pay attention to the small needs of your partner during this game. If both of you are actually having intimacy or sexual relation, you should actually concentrate more on what your partner would want you to do for them, what your partner would want to, how your partner would want you to do it, instead of concentrating on how you want to do it and how you feel satisfied for yourself. yourself. So I think when you struggle so hard to satisfy the other partner, they will also get interest and they'll also try so hard to see that they satisfy you. So I think both of you need to concentrate more on what satisfies the other and what attracts the other. I think that is what you should do. And also, there is need for you to start complimenting your partner. If you stopped complimenting them on the small things they do, try doing things like texting about sex and having romantic texts and romantic talks with your partner. Appreciate them in a romantic way. Do romantic things or surprises, or you can do a few things that actually make this marriage brighten up. You should also avoid cheating and also avoid watching pornography, because it's also a reason why some couples actually have failed away from having sex with each other, because they're overwatching pornography and they expect the partner to actually do exactly what is happening in the pornography or in the video that they watched before, and that is not a good thing to do. So concentrate more on your partner, the way they are, appreciate them the way they are, and forget about what you watch on the social media. You can also let me know on the reasons why there is no sex in your relationship or in your marriage. You can comment down below and let me know. On this channel, I have different videos about relationship stuff. There is a video talking about how to be perfect to your man and how to be perfect in your relationship. And there is also a video talking about how to maintain love in your relationship and how to be supportive to your partner. Try watching out those videos, they will be of good help to you. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. I love you. Take care.
Got what you want, say what you